ditch where there's a drain by the ball field there.
Yep.
So I just want to let you know about that, so
Okay, I'll give Bill a call tomorrow, we can
see what you
work with
can.
Raleigh and see if it's something.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna do the basketball court. Weren't we?
Well, we talked about it, but
Okay.
he was gonna still work with,
Okay.
see
Yeah.
what it was.
well then you, if basketball court, then you gotta get some plastic bead.
We have $3,000 in the budget for
Well,
it.
that's,
Yeah,
Well, that's something, it's not on the agenda, so we can,
That's the
I'll
thing.
work with Bill tomorrow.
That's why we brought it up for discussion.
Okay.
Sounds good, thanks,
Do
Tom.
what we can, because the kids are looking forward to it, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, I have some grandchildren that are
Yeah.
ready, but they also want snow, so.
And the groomer, I should update you on the groomer. I have learned how to drive a four-wheel drive tractor that I can pull that groomer with, so I can do it while Raleigh's doing the streets when we get snow, okay?
Sounds good,
Yeah, so the thing is, what about permission? It's okay for me to do it?
I don't see a problem with
I mean, do I have to
it,
send?
as long as it's okay with the person who's.
Well, the tractor's okay.
I mean, that's the main
But the
thing.
property, me being a citizen and working up a trail, should be all right.
I don't see an issue with it. but-
Liability, no?
We have adult volunteers for the
Yeah.
city, so
Oh,
Yeah,
even guys with funny hats?
yeah, or just funny in general. All right, thanks, Doc.
The
Any
general.
other public comment? Public comment? Moving on to presentations, we have nothing this evening, full business, approval of meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Felt, second by Mazak. Comments or questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltus,
Yep.
Mazak,
Yes.
Wojni,
Abstain.
Holstead.
Yes,
That was the shortest meeting I've attended, 15 minutes.
Yes, Bob. Getting quicker.
Okay, good.
Item number 5, CSI Impact Council update.
I had,
Todd and Marlis are
Marlos
both.
was there too,
both
she'd
on?
be looking at me kinda, but, so we got the minutes and so everybody has a chance to look at them. What's happening is that they're not gonna be very active for this next year, they're just gonna move the sand they have there, no blasting. For this year, and this will be towards the end of the year. And the trucks that you see on the road that are coming from Whitehall, are coming from north from Independence, I wasn't really sure why are they driving up this way, but they haul the sand up to Chippewa to get on the trains instead of Winona, I guess, so that's why you're seeing that. And there are numbers here for how many rail cars, and it's overwhelming just to see those numbers for me anyway. What's interesting here is that there was by Mr. Chipko, we were talking about, incidentally, about rail out at CSI out there to load cars and all that sort of thing, and then Mr. Chitko said, hey, talk to the town about this for rail, whatever that means. So they would put rail sidings up in the town of Arcadia? I don't know, so I just throw that at you just to make you aware of this. Let's see, what did he say? It didn't say that right in here, but that's where it came in the discussion anyways. So I thought that'd be interesting. The Alpine Mine site was closed. That's the one by Clem Perchinsky. You guys know where Clem is?
Soper Road.
Soper Road, yeah, by New Valley Tavern, just to the south of there, that one is basically closed. But they can move stuff in and out of there. They might be going to the Russa mine to be hauling out of there. As far as blasting, I don't remember them saying blasting there at all. No, but it didn't sound like they were gonna do any blasting at all, so I think this is kind of informative. The wash plant was done washing sand for the season, and community impact meeting, we might have a tour, or our next meeting. I don't know if that includes everybody that wanted to go through it again or what, perhaps city council people. be interested, I'm sure they would be glad to host everybody. Very amiable at this time. Mr. LaPrairie wasn't there, so I couldn't pick on him a little bit and see how many canoe trips he took this year, but Eric says he didn't have time to run any canoe trips this year.
Mayor, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
If we go out there, or if you make a thing to go out to the mine again, can you do it a night that's not a council meeting night, so that, otherwise I think it's gonna be,
Sure,
What
and
do
you
you
don't
think?
wanna go out there at night anyways.
well, okay, so we could pick a late afternoon or
I mean,
afternoon
some
when
kind of
everybody's.
spring.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay,
Right,
good,
so
okay.
that we lighter out so you can actually see what's
Okay.
going on, and see how they're working it there. That's all I have.
No, this is, I think,
Is that okay?
this is great,
Yeah, yeah.
really nice.
Okay, we try to do that every time now. Apparently, we're gonna be able to, like, we requested to have it done, so we have minutes every time.
Good. Any other comments,
But I
questions?
can't remember nothing, you know, so.
Can I just ask one quick?
Just one?
Well, on the front page, it says Barb Talk, Town of Arcadia Chair, guest, and then the absent Barb Talk, Chair, Town of Arcadia Chair. Was she there or not there?
You see it down below that, it says absent.
Yes.
She was
but-
absent,
But
so-
above, it says guest Barb Talk.
Usually they're guests that were there last time, okay?
I think those were the people that were invited,
Oh,
but then these two people,
They're not on the committee.
these two people came because they like to come and see what's going on.
okay, they were invited.
They were invited,
guests.
that's my
Okay.
take, is that they were
Okay.
invited, but those two did not attend.
Yeah, they were, usually they're invited
Okay.
to come, like John lives pretty near there.
Sure.
And so is Kathy and Barb talking, I'm not sure if Mike is on the committee.
Sure. Department updates, we have none this evening, public hearing none scheduled, discussion of possible action to adopt City of Arcadia corporate boundary resolution.
So moved.
2018-8, motion by Feltus, second by Fetch. Comments, questions? Billy, wanna give explanation, if not, or Angela?
It's an annual requirement that we have to certify our boundaries with the Secretary, state of Wisconsin, and we had one annexation of the Smith property that is gonna be the solar project. So we just need to, approve and get it sent on to the state.
Sound good? Clerk will call the roll.
Feltus,
Yes.
Mezek?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Colstead? Fetch.
Yes, thank you.
Motion carries.
There is a map too that is on here that I just took and printed out. I think it's kinda handy
To you.
to have it, yeah, to put in your notebook or whatever it is.
Item 8B, discussion of possible action on ordinance 2018-9, and ordinance amending the City of Arcadia's code of ordinances to amend the sewer use charges.
So moved.
Motion by Feltus, second by Holsted. Comments, questions? We're gonna take our time a little bit. Clerk will call the roll.
Mezek?
I'm just kidding, Amy.
Yes.
Jeez.
Wojni?
Yes.
Colstead?
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes?
Feltus?
Item 8C, approval of 2019, 20, and 21 Wisconsin Professional Police Association Union Contract.
So moved.
Motion by Fett. Is there a second? By Wojni. Comments or questions? In regards to?
There was a bunch of things in here, maybe I should have asked them a long time ago, but as far as time off and all this sort of thing, there was some language in there that kind of, I forgot where that was here. On that.
Article.
They get page 14. They get term life insurance, huh? Will you buy that for them? 100,000?
All full-time city employees have that benefit, but yes.
Okay. That's kinda nice, I wish I had. There was some other, okay, a day for purposes of this article out on page 15. A day for the purpose of this article should be defined as 12 hours in length. A day is 12 hours, not 24?
By day.
Their work day.
Their work day,
They work 12-hour shifts.
Oh, their work day, okay, okay,
2 12-hour shifts.
yeah.
okay. I thought there was something simple, but
It's good to ask.
yeah.
Any other discussion?
Sick leave for family illnesses, okay, that's all, that's great. Explain here, on Article 20, military leave, 18, employees or members of active military, reserve, or National Guard are required to attend annual military training, yeah. May elect to take the said 2-week period as his or her vacation, so that'd be part of their own regular vacations. They don't get extra vacation, or it gets extra time for being in the
No,
military.
no, they don't get extra, it'd be, they're just like their regularly
So-
earned time off.
Okay, so instead of giving, because they do serve time and they're, you know, for their country and all that, I don't know if that's ever been brought up, if that should be extra, but, then maybe get more people to join the military, I don't know.
Possible, but,
Well, that's just something that,
sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a decision we could make,
yeah,
But-
yeah, yeah. I think it's something that's really, good of them to do that type of thing, it's not, it's for serving their country.
I had one thing under Article 19, page 17, just caught my eye. An employee, that would be anybody that's employed by the police department from the back.
just union.
Oh,
This is only for
It
the-
says an employee covered in this agreement who serves on jury duty.
Yeah, the only people
The
covered by
only
this agreement.
are the 4 people that are.
Right, but wouldn't wouldn't that be a conflict of interest if, let's just say 1, 2, okay, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. If one of them makes a stop and ends up in court, wouldn't there be a conflict of interest if the other ones have to go in for jury duty?
Right,
Or
and they
not?
would, but they would still have to serve.
Okay.
They would just be released if it was something that
Okay.
they were
Yeah.
associated
Okay,
with.
that's through
but
the
they
red,
would-
red flag to me.
But they still have
Okay.
to, they still have to go and serve,
Okay,
whether you're a lawyer or a judge, a police officer.
And no striking, right?
okay.
Article 22, no strike.
Correct. We shouldn't have to worry about it after this, it'll be a 3-year contract, so.
Or at least for 3 years,
Correct. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Clerk will call the roll.
Wojni,
Yes.
Colstead,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Yeah.
Mazak.
Motion carries. Item 8B, First Amendment to access construction easement between City of Arcadia, Roger and Ann Rakewine.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Feltus, second by Fetch. Comments, questions?
So let me just take the opportunity to explain, the reason. For the amendment, as you remember, we had entered into the original agreement, so that we would be able to, as part of the Dollar General development, construct what is now Rotering Street. And so in doing that, in doing that, we are limiting, the property owner's ability to pile snow where they had piled it previously. It's a pretty tight lot as it sits now. And so what we're allowing by the amendment is for them to pile, the snow on their property, but in that, there's literally 40 feet of that easement area, to the south. So that they would have, somewhere to stockpile the snow. I've talked to Raleigh about this, he's okay with it. Once the stockpile snow does get, if there's a significant, snowfall and, there is a large snow stockpile there, then we would haul that out. But, so that's, one part of the agreement. The second, part of it is to add signage. The Rakewines were particularly concerned about, the public using a private driveway or going through there. There's also there's going to be some parking issues within that parking lot, of the trailer park. And so, in talking and discussing, traffic patterns with, what we settled on was that, people utilize, or traffic coming into that parking lot would enter that lot from 95 and then exit onto the Loitering Street. And that way there's only one flow of traffic, it allows for better parking within the lot. And then it also provides safety as coming in and out of that lot because of the difference in elevation. That's the gist of that amendment.
Is Rotering Street on the south side of Dollar General and going
It's
alongside the, in back of the motel?
No.
No, so Rotary Street runs north and south.
Perpendicular to Highway
95.
95.
Correct.
So that's basically the entrance to Dollar General, or what do you wanna call it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The entrance of the entrance of, the Dollar General parking lot would face Rotary Street. And then the westerly entrance of the mobile home park would be facing Rotary Street, so, so then it's one access onto 95.
How to get onto your folks, the driveway that's by the trailer park?
They're gonna want,
They come straight in off of 95, don't they?
right, with exit, which would be farthest east is what Bill's saying, use that as the entrance, and then the exit would be to the west.
So it's a kind of, oh, I see.
So it would loop around, correct?
So there'll be a one-way traffic there then, that's what you're saying?
In the lot.
In the
itself.
lot where the trailers are?
Correct.
Oh, okay. And the snow, you can pile it up on Rotary
Road.
On the southerly 40 feet.
So you'd have to push it to the back of the,
Correct.
oh, okay. Whatever gets the job done.
Comments or questions? More questions, I should say. Clerk will call the roll.
Colstead,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Yep.
Mezek,
Yes.
Wojni.
Yep.
Motion carries. Item 8E, discussion, possible action on personnel committee recommendations to the
So
policy
moved.
manual.
So,
Motion by Fetch, is there a second?
Want to do these individually?
Yeah, we doing them all together or
Individually.
individually?
Sure. So the motion would be on funeral leave first,
sure.
I'll second that.
second by Colstead. Discussion, or can you please update the rest of us?
I can take this since Bill was gone. The personnel committee has met the last couple months. There was a few things, you know, as we're going through the union contract and the policy manual, trying to get things a little bit more consistent so that they don't read differently between the two. The funeral policy is a little bit different. In the union contract, it extends the funeral time for a grandparent, aunt, or uncle to the employee or the employee's spouse. Currently, the policy manual does not have that provision, it's just to make them the same. The personnel committee did meet on this, talk through it. They recommended to the utility commission and council to update the funeral leave so that the two policies are the same.
Comments, questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Yeah.
Mezek,
Yes.
Wojni,
Yep.
Colstead.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8E2, boot allowance.
So moved.
Motion by Fetch, is there a second?
Yes.
By Wojni. I'll wait for Angela to finish writing, I guess so she can give a brief on the boot allowance.
This also came through the personnel committee, and they are recommending to increase the food allowance up to $225. The policy manual requires that they buy them locally. You know, costs have gone up. I don't know that the food allowance has gone up in the very long time that I've been with the city. So they're recommending that it go up to $225. So if, you know, if someone gets boots and they're, you know, let's say they're $200, that would be covered. So it would just be, they'd have to still submit the receipt and get reimbursed.
I think a $225 pair of boots is ungodly.
But that's what it is though, unfortunately.
See, some of them have steel toed and, you know.
You get good stuff and then the steel toes, that what you said? Yeah, steel toes and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I know. Well, tennis shoes are what?
Over.
Yeah. So,
I don't know, Marlis is buying them for her grandkids. You guys wanna get down there?
we're picking up for my,
I figure $100
Yeah.
Clerk
will call the roll.
Why we, you know, but I guess they need it.
Feltes,
How did we come about buying the boots?
What's that?
How did we come about buying them boots?
I'm guessing that had been discussed probably in the union contracts from a long time ago, I'm guessing, is how it,
when they were.
you
So
know,
now
when
we're
there
buying
was,
for all city personnel?
well,
no, this is
the,
just,
the police officers get a boot, or the police officers get a stipend, $650 uniform allowance.
Yeah.
And so that would be covered under that. The rest of the city employees, like the street department, electric and water department, with the authorization of their department head, they can get, the boot allowance reimbursement. So it's not just that you submit it 5 times a year, it has to go to your department head and get approved.
You know, Traverse Industry doesn't buy boots from people.
it's a decision for you guys to make it. Yeah.
it's a call a question.
Okay. Clerk will call the roll.
Feltes,
No.
Mazak,
No.
Wojni,
Yes.
Holsted,
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes,
Motion carries. Item 8E, 3, Medicare reimbursement provision for employees electing Medicare coverage in place of group health insurance. Motion to approve.
so moved.
By Fetch, is there a second?
I'll second it.
By Colstead. Good for Angela to finish writing.
Okay, this came about, I got a call from the agent that does our health insurance, through WEA Trust. And we've not been asked this question before, but you know, as the workforce ages and stays working, you know, the city may have employees that are working past age 65. At age 65, you're eligible to convert to Medicare. Doing so can save the employee money apparently. And then they have it in place, so, you know, let's say they're going to work till, you know, 65 and a half or 66, they would have that in place. You know, what the city contributes for health insurance for an employee is more than like up to a $250 reimbursement. I guess this is kind of an incentive that if a person wants to convert off the city health insurance onto Medicare, so the employee would have to choose to leave city insurance, and if they did so, they would get a reimbursement up to $250. They'd have to submit a bill showing that they do have that coverage. But it's one of those things that if we have a policy and we have it in place, then we don't have to kind of deal with things on a one by one basis as we go forward. This was brought to the personnel committee. They thought it saves us, at the end of the day, it saves the city money. I don't know how often this would get utilized, and I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Comments, questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Mazak,
Yes.
Wojni,
Yes.
Colstead,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes,
Feltes.
Yep.
Motion carries. Item 9A, approve the bills of general account in the amount of $148,286.80.
So move.
Motion by Feltes,
second,
by Fetch.
there's Davy Engineering in there.
We got about 5 questions.
Start with 6.
Okay, what's a panic alarm monthly fee?
Panic alarm monthly fee is,
Well, that's a button that we can push that if someone comes in, you know, let's say Amy's here working alone and someone comes in and,
I just was curious what it,
yeah, it's a little button that we,
okay.
don't come in here agitated, is what they're telling you.
Does that go directly to the sheriff's department then?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fast and all, $2,047, tools and supplies for the street department. Well, he's not here.
Raleigh upgraded their tools.
Is this to use up the rest of their budget for the month, for the year, or, I mean,
I can,
why do we go, why are we shopping at Fast and all? Do we always buy tools there? You know? I mean,
I do know
I heard
that
it's spendy, but
he did some, I do know that he did some research and, you know, with the interchangeable battery packs and everything, he wanted to upgrade his tools.
As far as
And it was
that
in
big
his tool
20 volt.
supplies budget.
okay. Culverson lumber barricade repairs, they repair our barricades?
Yeah, the sawbucks,
Can't we just fix them ourselves, or what's?
that's the materials to
Oh,
fix
okay,
them.
but
They
it
do,
said-
they
it
do them
said-
themselves, they paint them.
Okay, it said repair, so I thought, that's
No.
what I was wondering.
No, that's just for the lumber.
And then we got hardware, Hank, we got more streets, more supplies for police department and street department. Wesco decorative lights,
Yeah, I saw that too.
what's that?
That's on the bottom there.
That is the LED, you remember you
Okay.
guys were budgeting for the
Yeah,
LED
okay.
conversion? That's
Okay.
what that is.
I was hoping it wasn't Christmas lights.
Thanks, Kevin.
That's all I got.
Okay, hey, wait a minute here, yeah. We're gonna have to upgrade our Christmas stuff here one of these years too, though.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Put it in the budget.
Yeah, the light turns out,
Yeah. But we do have money in the budget for some of that anyways.
yeah, that's all I got. I just,
I don't think there's,
Well, by the way,
Money,
before
there's
we
money in
vote
the
on it,
economic development budget, we don't have banners for next year. I was thinking that.
that's a
that's
discussion for
another
some
thing,
things.
yeah.
Any other questions in regards to the bills of general account? Clerk will call the roll.
Wojni,
Yes.
Holsted,
Yes.
Fetch,
Yes.
Feltes,
Mm-hmm.
Mazak.
yes,
Motion carries. Operator licenses, there was none. Future agenda items, if there's any, please contact myself, Bill, or Angela.
Okay. Merry Christmas to one and all. I would like to thank our office staff and all our people and city council members and the honorable mayor. That it's been a very good year, I think. So Merry Christmas to all.
Well, that was very nice of you to say, Todd, and I agree, we have got a great city staff that put in a lot of extra effort, and I think they only hear it when somebody's not in the best of moods. But 99.9% of the time, I think we do
You
it.
believe it's been a year?
It's been a year, another one.
Another year.
Just for future, we have a meeting the 16th, I will be out of town that whole week. So,
The who?
the following, January 16th would be the following meeting, so. I don't know what we wanna do, if you guys wanna meet, Joe can handle the meeting, would be just fine. If you would like, we'd still meet on the 16th.
Remember me.
Bring it up.
And get some controversial
It would-
stuff or something, and
Well, it would be nice to keep it on a regular schedule.
I'm fine with that, I'm just gonna be out of town the whole week, so.
Even if there's something controversial, we'll just table it till.
Yeah, I can phone in,
What about electronic?
I can phone in,
Okay.
I'll be
Get you
available.
in on Skype, get your face up there.
All
I can do
right.
that.
Do what?
Skype.
Oh, we can Skype, you can Skype, huh?
Motion to adjourn,
So,
So move.
motion by Feltes, is there a second? By Mazak, clerk will call the roll.
Holsted,
Yes.
Fetch,
yes.
Feltes,
Yeah.
Mazak.
yes.
30
Yes.
30 minutes, it's almost done.
This
Motion
meeting was
carries.
twice as long as